Hi everyone. In this video, I am going to show you how to solve a 3 by 3 system um, using elimination. Okay, so if you want to solve this 3 by 3 system like this, it's impossible. Okay, there's substitution. You can use also substitution, but substitution only works in certain cases, right? When the variable that you want to solve for, if so, for instance, if the variable you want to solve for has a coefficient, its coefficient is not -1 or +1, it will be harder to use substitution. That's why I like to use elimination because it works for any case of 3 by 3 system, for solving any case of 3 by 3 system. Okay, so to solve by elimination, the goal here is we want to eliminate one variable and one equation. So we start from with a 3 by 3 system, and the goal is to end up with a 2 by 2 system. So basically, a system made of two equations with two different variables. Okay, so for this to happen, you have to cancel a variable, either variable x or variable y or variable z. Why do we do this? To create a 2 by 2. So 2 by 2 means two equations with two variables. Here we have three variables, so you have to eliminate one. So you have to identify which variable to eliminate. Okay, so after thinking here, so let's see, you can choose to eliminate variable x, variable y, or variable z. Okay, so it's up to you. So after looking right here, okay, I'm choosing to eliminate variable y, and the reason is I see that the first two equations are already opposite of each other, right? So it's easier to, it'd be much easier to start eliminating variable y. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do. So let's eliminate variable. Okay, so we chose to eliminate the variable y. Okay, let me highlight that. Okay, and the reason why you're going to eliminate the variable y is because if we look at equation 1 and 2, so the variable y are already opposite of each other. Okay, so what is the next step? So step 2, you want to take two equations to eliminate the variable, and here the variable is y, to create the first equation of our 2 by 2 system. So you need two equations. Okay, what are the two equations you're going to use? So I'm choosing, okay, you're going to use equation 1 and 2 for you. So I'm the one making the choice, okay? Sorry. So I'm using equation 1 and 2, and then they are opposite of each other already. So I don't have to do anything here. I don't have to multiply any equation, okay, by any number. Y, the variable y are already opposite. The sign are opposite, and the number, the coefficient is also the same number, which is 1. Okay, so now you're going to add vertically. So make sure you add vertically. Okay, so -5x plus -2x is going to be -7x, and positive y plus negative y is 0. That's why you want the opposite, so they cancels out. They cannot be the same sign. If they are the same sign, they're not opposite. Okay, so make sure they are opposite, mean opposite sign. One is positive, one is negative, and the number here in front of the variable is the same. And 5z plus 1z, there's one there, is added to 6z equal to, again, you're adding number with the same sign. So what do? We keep the sign. That's what we've done here. We keep the sign and add the number. 5 plus 1 is 6. So -2 plus -9, you keep the sign and you add the number. 2 plus 9 is 11. So the answer is -11. So let me rewrite the equation here. So our first equation for our 2 by 2 system is going to be -7x plus 6z equal to -11. Okay, so that's the first equation for our 2 by 2 system that I'm going to write right here. So -7x plus 6z equal to -11. Okay, so what is going to be the next step? After we found the first equation for our 2 by 2, after we found the first equation for our 2 by 2 system, okay, so you need to find the second equation. How do we find the second equation? So you want to take two other equations, okay? Make sure to include the equation I used before. So remember, I used equation 1 and 2. So the equation I used before is equation number 3. So let me push. So it's equation number 3 right here. Why I already used equation 1 and 2, so I have to make sure I use the equation I used before, which is equation number 3. Okay, that's why I have it here. Okay, and then and also use one or the other. You can use 1 or 2. You can either use equation 1 or 2 for the second equation. So you're going to go with equation 1. Okay, so I chose equation 1, so I will put equation 1 below. Okay, and you're going to cancel the same variable. And remember, you want to cancel again the variable y. Okay, we shows you cancel the variable y, so you have to continue canceling y in the second set. You don't want to say, okay, let's cancel x here or cancel z. Why? So you end up with a system with 3 different variables. So for instance, here, if you want to cancel x instead of y, you end up with an expression, equation with the variable y and the variable z equal a number. And now we have 3 different variables for the same 2x2 system, and we cannot solve it. So make sure you want to cancel the same variable. Okay? So now to cancel the variable, they need to be opposite of each other. So let's look here. So I can see the sign are opposite, but the number, the coefficient in front of the y, the coefficient of y is not the same number. They are not yet opposite. So, but I want to make it opposite. So how do I do that? Okay. So what we can do, I will give you time to think. Okay. So you have to multiply by a number. Okay. Do you know what number is going to be? Yes, you have to be the number 6. So let me multiply here. So you're going to multiply by 6. So you're going to multiply the entire equation, so each term by positive 6. Okay, so I multiply the entire equation, 1 by positive 6, and I get negative 30x plus 6y plus 30z equal negative 12. Okay, then I'm going to add vertically. So when I add vertically, I end up with negative 2x. So plus 0. Okay, they cancel. So plus 31. Remember, there's a 1 in front of the z. So 1z plus 30z add up to 31z equal to negative 36. So the second equation is going to be negative 32x plus 31z equal to negative 36. So we found the second equation for our 2x2 system that I'm going to write right here again. So now we have now our 2x2 system. So what will be the next step? Okay, so the next step here, since we have our 2x2 system, is to solve our 2x2 system by using elimination or substitution. So since I can see that the variable, none of them have a coefficient of 1 or negative 1, so I cannot use substitution, so I have to use elimination. So you have to choose which variable you want to eliminate here. Okay, so let's decide which variable you want to eliminate. Okay, so we are going to eliminate the variable x here. Okay, so now for the variable x, the term with the x to cancel, they need to be opposite of each other. Right now they're not opposite. Why? Because the sign are the same, which is negative, and the number are different. So to be opposite, it means that the sign needs to be different and the number in front of the variable needs to be the same. How can you make it work? Okay, so my tips is you're going to multiply here in this situation for this 2x2 system. You need to multiply both equation by number. Okay, what number is going to be? So because those number needs to be opposite of each other, and those number needs to be also the same. So I'm going to choose to multiply the first equation by the number below here, below the So I'm going to choose to multiply by 32. So, and then I'm going to multiply the second equation 2 by the number of both 32, which is, I'm going to go with negative 7. Why am I choosing to go with negative 7? Because one term needs to be a negative and the other needs to be a positive. So I want the first equation, so this term to remain negative, and the second term to be positive. That's why I'm multiplying by negative 7. Okay? Okay, so now you can see after multiplying the top equation by 32 and the one below by negative 7, I will say switch the sign, switch the number, the coefficient. when you multiply, so we end up with the same number. Okay, so when you do this, so they are now opposite of each other and they add up to 0. Okay, so now you're going to add vertically 192z, okay, plus negative 217z, add up to negative 25z is equal to negative 100. Okay, so again, you're adding number with different signs, so we subtract and you keep the sign of the bigger number. The bigger number here is 252 and is negative, so the answer must be negative. And remember, we want to solve for z, so I'm going to divide both sides by negative 25. So now I know that z is equal to positive 4. That's the answer, positive 4. So now, remember, we know the value for z. Okay, so we want to solve a 2 by 2 system, which means I need to find the value for x. How do I do this? Okay, you can either choose equation 1 or equation 2. Okay, so for me, I'm going to go with equation 1 because it's the coefficient as long as large or big. So the equation is negative 7x plus 6z equal negative 11. So again, you could have chosen equation 2, but I've chosen equation 1 because it looks easier to solve for x. So what do I know about z? Okay, so z, we know that z is equal to what number? To positive 4. So wherever I used to be the z, I'm going to plug in the number 4. Then I'm going to do what? This is a 4 here. So we are going to solve for x. So I have negative 7x, okay? And then 6 times 4 is plus 24, okay? Equal negative 11. So I want to solve, okay, I want to solve for x. I'm going to subtract negative 24 on both sides. You bring down the negative 7x, so this is cancelled out. And I'm left with negative 35. And to solve again for x, to add multiplication of negative 7, you're going to divide by 7, so negative 7. So then you end up with x equal to positive 5. Okay, so now we know that z equal positive 4 and x equal, okay, positive 5. What is the last steps to do? Okay, that's not the last step, but we are getting closer. So step 5 is to find the last variable by using one of the 3 original equations. So if you go back to the original equation, you have 1, 2, 3. So you want to pick one of those 3. So I'm going to go with the first equation. Okay, so now what am I going to do? So you want to find the variable, we want to find a y. So we know x is 5, so I'm going to plug in 5 into the x, and into the z, I'm going to plug in 4. Okay, that's what I'm going to do next. So we are going to combine negative 25 plus 20, which is add up to negative 5 plus y equal negative 2. Okay, so then we're going to solve for y by doing right here by adding 5 on both sides. And after adding 5 on both sides, the equation is you get y equal positive 3. Okay, so the final step is now to write your solution in order pair. Okay, so it's parenthesis 5, 3, 4. That's the end. Okay, thank you for watching my video. Bye-bye.